Welcome to an all-new edition of Fanlight Zone Presents. My name is Ken M. You know me as the host of the ODPH podcast. I'm also the editor-chief here at FLZ. To my left, your right at home, he is one of our featured comic writers at FLZ, and you know him from 607 TWS, the wrestling show every Thursday night on YouTube. Give a warm welcome to Rich.
I am here, and I am ready to talk about a wonderful, wonderful new project from a wonderful friend. So this is a good day.
Yes, because if we're going to be airing anything on stream, you know this creator is coming through. I always say friend of the show, but honestly, like he's the fifth co-host. Like I lose track of how many times he comes on because he just has the open door. Whenever he has a project, though, you know you want to hear about it, and that's what we're here to do. Because finally, we are going to be getting graced on Kickstarter, a project that we have heard about for quite some time, and now it's coming to fruition. And this is a book that you don't want to miss. Mostly Dead is dropping, and you need to make sure you sign up for this because obviously you know this creator's pedigree and you know it's going to be another smash hit. So from the pages of Pocus Hocus, Grandma Chainsaw, Horace in Hell, and many of your other favorites, please give a warm welcome to the writer of Mostly Dead, the one and only Alan Dunford. Alan, what is going on?
And the crowd goes mild because Alan's back. Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah. No, I'm so happy to be back, and no one does an intro like Ken. Like, obviously, Rich, I love you, man, but God, I would hate to be sat beside that guy.
I mean, I don't have to do the intro. That's the nice part.
I know.
I'm just the eye candy here.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
That's what I'm here for.
I like that. Rich is just solid steel and sex appeal, everybody.
This is true. This is what I say. The ratings are up, folks, for a reason. And they're going to be up after this edition, too, because obviously you got a new project coming out. How did Mostly Dead come to be?
Oh, man. So Mostly Dead's a fun one because whenever Kit and I decided to go ahead and start doing Comic Soup, we decided to do projects together. So for those of you who don't know, a really good friend of mine and an amazing artist, his name's Kit Wallis. He's illustrated more things than I could probably ever count. He's also a writer, letterer. Like Kit does everything. Like he does not need me. So the fact that I'm here is, I think he's just taking. I think it's a charity case. I just think he's trying to buy his way into heaven. So, yeah, so Kit and I, we linked up through just him starting doing variant covers for us, and then eventually it just led to us just like always staying in touch, always staying in contact, and then we decided, hey, let's try to just do something, with us. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. And then he wanted to tell a story that was centered around like just kind of life after death in a way, and we brainstormed, and then we came up with Mostly Dead.
Funny enough there, I got to be careful. Like nowadays when people taking things seriously, I'm making sarcastic gestures when you're like, hey, he doesn't really need me. And I'm like,
no, he doesn't, dude. Listen, like I know my place in this relationship 100%. I do. Kit, again, he's such an amazing guy, and for him to live pretty much a whole world away, because Kit's based out of England. It's just really cool that like the internet was used for good this time. So,
very rarely.
That's a rare statement, but this is a true one. It's a very, very true one.
Yeah.
Well, now that we know how it kind of came to be, if you will, it's time to let the fine folks know what is Mostly Dead about. Give me the elevator pitch, Alan.
Okay, elevator pitch. It's about a young boy named Nate who's growing up in an orphanage. And inside the catacombs of the orphanage, he finds the Book of the Dead. And inside that Book of the Dead, he figures out that he can bring his parents back to life. So it's his journey on doing that.
This is now the second project on the Comic Soup imprint, because the first one was a bad mother clucker.
Yeah, dude. It's Kit's book, and it's so funny saying this because it's so wild because comic books, they do so many things for people, right? They bring people together. They bring up conversation. They show great art, storytelling through this great visual medium, but it also lets you string together words that you never thought you'd say over and over again. So Kit's book Cockhead was the first one on there, and Kit already had it completed and everything, and it's such a fun and amazing book. And yeah, we worked on that one. I really didn't have anything to do with it. I just helped with the Kickstarter. and of course you guys here helped really promote it. We had a great turnaround for our first campaign on a new Kickstarter account. And then yeah, it's funny because even on this campaign, there's another book on there called Hex Gal that Kit has already done, and we're going to be launching that one soon too. So you can pick up issue 1 of that on here before we get to the variant covers and other stories and stuff like that with it too. So we're a very busy lot, which is great. It's a good problem to have, because also behind the scenes, Ken, I think you saw it on there too. We also are selling another ash can on there, and that's for our book called Small Bites. So, and this is about a young girl that becomes a werewolf. So it's just, again, it's just so cool seeing all the stuff that we get to really do together.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing thing to watch from a fan's perspective, because I mean, you're always hustling. I mean, I don't think you ever take time off. Pretty much, it's always like one project to the next, to the next.
Yeah, it's crazy because like when you really think about it, like whenever you guys ask like, hey Alan, what are you working on, like in my brain I'm like, well, I'm not really working on a lot, and then we start talking about it, and then like I slowly have the loom and doom dread monster come up, because it's like you have so many scripts you still have to do for other people and for yourself.
I was gonna say, I understand that. I kind of say the same thing. I'm like, I don't have a lot to do, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got 5 interviews to edit.
Yeah, when you really compartmentalize it. Yeah, because I was talking to Ken, and he was like, yeah, hey, when do you want to come on? And I was like, yeah, this day will be good. And Ken, like, yeah, I saw like the wheels spinning, because he's like, okay, we have this coming up, we got this, we got this, we got this, and I'm like, oh my god.
I lie to myself a lot. So I understand the feeling, is what I'm saying, Alan. I understand the feeling. I lie to myself constantly.
Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah,
I also
definitely.
like to procrastinate. So then I'm like, oh, hey.
And I got my trusty mug with me. Just
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
We got to get you an FLZ one too to make it a matching set.
Oh yeah, I need that.
Yeah, we can definitely look that up. The link is on the website too, if anybody wants to go get some merch, FLZ stuff, if you want to have it. But going in with the new imprint, though, like I say, what has been the biggest challenge for you and Kit in this venture?
So the biggest challenge is, of course, like with anything, it's just getting started, right? Because there's so many great creators that are on Kickstarter, and there's so many books out there too, and it's really just trying to create fun and interesting stories that people want to spend their hard-earned money on. And that's even the same thing with the other stuff that we are doing, with Pocus and Horus and all the other projects that we have going on. It's still trying to stay true to our ethos for just wanting to tell fun, crazy stories and all this stuff, but then it's also just making sure we're always still delivering the unexpected and still staying true to ourselves too, for where we really want to be.
So with this, we know, as you just kind of mentioned, you're no stranger to the world of magicking, and especially in comic books. What is the biggest appeal to you as a writer for making so many magic stories, if you will?
I don't know. Yeah, like being honest, man. Like I don't know. Like it's one of those things where you just write what you know, and write how you feel. And that's kind of what I've always like really tried to hold true to. Um Especially because like there's so much stuff that's out there, and I don't want to be stuck writing a story that I I can't put 100% of myself behind. Because I've told you guys this since day one. If the reader is having fun reading the story, then I've done my job. And if they feel like they kind of got a little insight to my kooky brain when I don't even know what's going on in there, then I think that like I've done my job, right? And yeah, it's just I think that's really kind of like what I try to always aspire to.
And plus, listen, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Let's be honest. There's a lot of fun in that world. You create a lot of fun in that world, and then also like on a side note, just so people know, it's like a magic trick for me, because I have all of these copies of things that I keep close to me in a drawer. Like I've read them all, obviously.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. I'll pull out stuff and I'm like, oh, and I have this and I have this, and it's like a magic trick almost. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Here's that foil variant I got. This is great. And it's always like, and I'm stuck in this constant like of just finding new things.
Yeah.
It's tremendous. But I listen, I'm glad that you stay in that realm, because as a selfish fan, not as a friend, but as a selfish fan, I can be like, oh, I know it's going to be gold.
Well, the
Yeah.
quality's there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the thing. If it's not broke, like you alluded to, don't fix it. And obviously, the success rate is there. Pocus Hocus, Horse and Hell, like I say, the list goes on. And this is obviously going to be a new addition to that, vast pedigree that you have. The one thing that I noticed though with this book, just from the outskirts, is this seems to have a more serious tone than some of your other work.
It's funny because I think I'm just really bad at selling my stuff. Because it's the same thing with Pocus. Like there's a serious tone and a serious there's serious stuff at stake, right?
Mhm.
But it's actually a really fun book and really lighthearted. Um, a little insight to me. I have crippling death anxiety. So I just don't want to die. It sounds awful. So like I don't want to write something that's going to completely bum me out, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, Mostly Dead's actually a lot of fun. And one of the big things that I tried to do, I think I sent it to you. We actually have a trailer that we made for this thing, like God, 2 years ago, whenever we started this thing. And the trailer for it was animated so beautifully by Prevalent Mind Studios, and I think it captures some of the fun with that. And when we were selling the ash can for the book, which I have in my possession right here. Yeah, like we threw in some of like the character designs, and at the end of it we have Nate's character design, and we wrote, Nate, tragic main character, you know how that goes, right? So we're just trying to like really approach it with a really lightheartedness. And whenever we actually get to see all the crazy cast of characters that we come up with, like it's I'm just excited, man. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun for people, and I think it's going to be stuff that they're going to be able to get behind.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just from the stuff I've seen from it, like it definitely has that fun vibe to it. But like I say, in comparison to some of the other tone, like I say,
Mhm.
Pocus is for me anyway, as the reader,
Yep.
Pocus is very, very humorous. And
Yep.
obviously, when you go down that rabbit hole, no pun intended, you understand why. But this
Yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
just, for the general subject of it, it was like, wow,
Right.
this is actually like a little more serious than we've seen from you. But I
Yeah.
like seeing it, but I like seeing that progression in your writing.
Well, no, thank you. Because like again, that's like some of the other fun stuff too, because it's like, what I think it's one of those, like, whether you realize it or not, this is what you're doing, right?
Mhm.
So whether I realize it or not, I think I'm challenging myself too with it, right? Because now I'm able to take that part of it and take a very serious subject matter and see how I can spin it on its head. So
Mhm.
I think I don't know. I just think it's little stuff like that, man, that we do to really put yourself back into this thing.
And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, and speaking of which, one of the things that I appreciate most about your work, and I'm not just saying that because we're friends,
Mhm.
I'm saying that because is that you have
Yep.
amazing abilities to write characters that are fun and that we fall in love with. And there's always those breakout characters. So I don't want you to spoil anything here, but can you at
Yep.
least tease if there's a character that surprised you when creating the new book, Mostly Dead?
Dude, listen, it's gonna be the exact same crap that happened with Pocus, that happened with Horus. So we do have a character in this, and it is it's a undead fox named Amalia, and that's
It's
gonna
covered.
be the one. I already know.
You just accepted
It's
it at
gonna
this
be the
point.
one. Yeah, because like, it was so funny because like, yeah, Pocus Hocus, we're so happy with it, and I can't wait to get the next issue out. Horse and Hell, like just by reaction and even just Kickstarter numbers, like that's our one, right? That's the one that like everyone's like really looking forward to. I mean, there, we do have people that really look forward to Pocus, but law of large numbers, people are
Mhm.
like, we need to see more of that demonic bunny, and we're like, okay,
Yeah.
we got you. Yeah.
Listen, as somebody who loves both series, I am gonna say though, there's something about that bunny. There's
Dude,
something about
I get it. Believe me, I get it.
that
I understand. So yeah, it's just like I said, it's a lot of fun to just see that. But yeah, like whenever we were doing this, Kit just sent me a design for a fox, and he named it Amalia, and I was like, yeah, well, here we go. Yeah, that's the one, because this one was kind of fun because before we actually started writing the story, we were coming up with some of the characters and stuff and just fun designs that we like really wanted to do and what we can implement into it. And then I think that like we really settled on some really cool stuff that everyone's gonna be really happy with.
Well, you heard it here first. Coming soon, Amalia in Purgatory will be.
Yes, yes. But yeah, no, like I said, there's just it's just really cool. And then, especially like, and of course I want to give a shout out to the team over at Bad Bug because they're putting this out in their newsletter soon. So by the time this comes out, it should already be out there. But yeah, so they actually picked up Comic Soup as an imprint for Bad Bug.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So we're going to be using that to really just get to another realm of fans and stuff, because Kit's done a lot of work over there. We have another book together called The Final Girl Next Door, and he's done another book over there with Scott Wilkie called Serial Killers, and we got Horse in Hell. So this just kind of seemed like a natural thing for us just to be a part of their branding.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a perfect fit. And I'm glad and super excited that you made that happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, I'm happy that they made it happen too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the hard work and dedication that pays off. And like I say, it's not lip service.
Yep.
You and your team are always hustling and always working. So it's great to see the work put in and the success come from it. And this is a big deal for you. So, I mean, this is amazing to see.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And like that's the thing too, like, and I always want to stress this as an independent creator, you're nothing without your community.
Mhm.
And you guys are a true testament to that. So I've always appreciated everything you guys done. So thank you. We'll never say enough.
No, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
And I'm still not letting you go about, are we going to get Horse in Hell versus the Dead Squad? That is still.
Yeah. So it's funny because like we actually have like a couple of crazy ideas that we were throwing around with kind of like an interconnected story with Pocus, Grandma Chainsaw, and Horus in Hell, and it's in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely in there. So I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, I could see it happening sooner rather than later.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm glad that you held his feet to the fire on that one.
Yeah, dude.
We have to be like, hey, listen, eventually it's going to be like, hey, if you want to keep,
Yeah.
you want to keep,
Yeah.
we're going to need this. This is what we're going to need. There's going to be a rider. But yeah,
Yeah.
no. And I'm glad you brought up Grandma Chainsaw because, we kind of overlooked it, but I'm going to give a peek behind the curtain. One of my greatest mail days ever was opening up the package and reading all of it. So that was.
Oh yeah. Did you get the trade? I can't remember.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool deal.
So that's why, I mean, I had a couple of the issues before, but I got the trade as well. And I was like, of course, that was one of the greatest days. If you have not read that, try to get your hands on one because it's amazing.
Okay, so that's just kind of a prime example. Like, listen, Grandma Chainsaw is crazy. And I'm like, and I don't want to be like my work is crazy and unpredictable, but like it, we really swung for the fences with Grandma Chainsaw, like especially with the twist at the end. I think at one point we just said, to hell with it, let's just do it. Like, let's just make this thing wild and crazy because, one of the things that we talked about originally with it was, this is kind of light spoilers for anyone listening. Did we want to just have it simple, open and shut, just hag horror with just a grandma with a chainsaw and she's just killing people for 4 issues? Will that get boring? And we decided, you know what? Let's just swing for the fences. Let's just throw out this ending completely out of left field. Screw it. Let's see what happens.
But having that fearlessness in writing and creating, I mean, that is where you usually strike the biggest gold, to be honest with you.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And especially like you've really connected with the community on your projects. Like I will tell this many times when we have other creators on. If you're talking about a one book that really came from word of mouth, it's Pocus Hocus. Like cool. That was one that, I mean, I remember, and I'll always give the shout out to Frank over at Geek Freaks. When he came running and screaming that in one of our chats, and then it went to me, and then I started screaming about it, and then it kind of spreading amongst the podcast community when podcast Twitter was a real thing. Rest in peace.
Rip a real one, right?
Yeah. Well, listen, like I say, to what it is now is nothing like it used to be back in the heyday. Going off that word of mouth, that campaign kept growing and growing. That every time you have a new release, it's a big deal. And now going into the new Kickstarter campaign, what is your temp in the room concerning Kickstarter? I mean, like I say, do you still get the butterflies before every campaign?
Every time. I hate it. I hate launching a campaign. It is. I'd rather die. It is awful. Um, yeah, like it is of course exciting, right? But also at the end of the day, it's also sketchy.
Mm,
Because like, you want to make sure that like you're doing this, you're doing that, you got everything great that you need. And God, but it's just like, what if this fails? Because here's the thing: comic books are expensive, dude.
mm.
It is crazy how much it costs to make a book. So it's just one of those like, please don't fail, please don't fail, please don't fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, I understand being a lot on the line there, especially because it is not a cheap medium. I think people
Yeah.
sometimes think it is because you have. I think we all have like as people outside will say people who are just like casual
Casual
fans
fans.
and stuff like that.
Mhm.
They look at it like what the price is when you see it on the rack.
Right.
So the $3.99, the $4.99, the $7.90, whatever it is, and then you don't realize that hey, for the fans and collectors, that is times X. So,
Right.
times X, and that's just the shops. That's not talking about if you want to invest in independent stuff, whether it be Kickstarter or elsewhere.
Right.
Like you definitely have that. That's that line. So like the fact that like you and so many other great creators that we get to talk to, like really take the time to like make some really awesome
Mhm.
things that you can feel good about actually purchasing is like the reward in its own. But I can understand how that's nerve wracking for you.
Oh yeah, dude. Like no question. It's so nerve wracking. I wish that it wasn't, and I wish I didn't like get as like nervous about it as I do. But man, I can't help it. It's crazy.
Well, one day I'll win the lottery and I'll start bankrolling some stuff.
Yeah. Hey,
But
thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
the
But
first goal is I have
yeah.
to start playing the lottery.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I got to do that too. I'm one of those idiots that like whenever it gets like a certain amount, I'm like, yeah, I'll go and spend like $20, right? I'm not gonna get it, but like I'll have the same amount of chance of getting the $3 billion as I would the 20 million, right?
true.
But but you see that large number, you're like, oh, what if? what
Mm.
if what if I slam that and I don't have to go to work tomorrow? That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the dream for all of us?
Yeah, dude, I know.
We'll just get a postcard of you standing next to us, 24 karat
Yeah,
gold
yeah.
or statue in the middle of like an island somewhere.
Like hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, be like, gonna be a little late coming on FLZ this week.
Yeah,
we'll work
yeah,
out
my
time.
bad. I'm kicking it on the moon.
That'd be even more fun.
Yeah.
So of course with Kickstarter, with campaigns, there's always and one of the better things, and I think my opinion, not just my opinion, I think people in general, one of the greatest things about Kickstarter is not only getting books straight to fans and
Mhm.
fans being able to purchase that, it's also the incentives that go along with it.
Yes.
Because there's always some wonderful incentives, and you have always done a great job with incentives. So can you tease and even spoil some incentives that we can look out for in this campaign?
Yeah, most definitely. So, one of the things that we're trying to do now, like, um, yeah, we also try to make it like ease of use, right?
Mhm.
Especially for us too, because we've done some like stuff in the past that's like really big, like with Horus 3, we did the Horus figures, which I love doing those, and we're going to do those again for Horus 4, but we got to be choosy about which campaigns we do it for because man, those things are a pain in the ass to ship. Like, and they
Yeah,
are very expensive to make.
I can
Like,
imagine.
being independent, like, whenever you see like the blind bags, blind boxes and stuff, and they're selling them for like, $7, $8 each, and they're probably making them for like 25 cents. We don't make a lot of profit on those things after shipping and everything because if we charged really what we needed to charge, we would never make any money, right? Um, but it's just one of those things where like we want to make sure that we're delivering as much as possible. So we've really started getting into the realm of doing prints of our covers, which I like a lot. So
Mhm.
we're doing 11 by 17 prints. And with Kit being on board, I'm really starting to get into the ash can world, and I really like that. So I really like having previews up of our next books that are coming out. So we're like really trying to move forward and show everybody, especially with a new imprint, because yeah, we can have it all day that we are serious comic creators and stuff like that. But again, from where we have that little extra, just, hey, this book is already has 8 pages, 9 pages done, and we're selling it on here to kind of help bankroll for the next issue, like, come and check it out, right? So it's just, I don't know, it's just little stuff like that, man, that we try to really be mindful of.
Well, you have to be. I mean,
Yep.
it's just any business model. Like you want to hit your product that you're doing now, but you want the fans to come back for more.
Mhm.
And teasing what you have coming, you like I say, you don't have to go crazy with it, but you
Right.
want to make sure, like, hey, this book is great, but you really want to come back and check this one
Yeah.
out, and then keep that domino effect going.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
that's a great business move, honestly,
Yep.
because you you get something extra. Like
Mhm.
that can be understated. You get something extra, but B, it does build an excitement for something that somebody may not know about. Or in the case, it could be a completely new line being
Yeah.
launched. Period. It doesn't have to necessarily be something that it's just gets you in the front door. You get to look around, and that right there will get somebody interested in buying something else, which is
Yeah, like, and that's the thing, like, and that's what I always hope, right? I just always kind of hope that we have that, just that excitement. Like, of course we're doing hollow foils, we're doing metals, all the fun stuff. But yeah, like, I think my big thing is we just want to make sure that people know that we are just delivering that way, and we are serious. We have stuff coming up, stuff's already in the pipeline, scripts already being worked on. So yeah, it's just how we do.
Let me ask you this before I turn it back to Rich. Would you ever consider the blind bag craze? Like, I know that
Yeah,
that's
so
really
we
exploding
actually
now.
thought about doing that for the horse figures.
Okay.
Yeah, because once we were looking at costs and stuff, just to see, like, this is what is possible, this is what we could do. We decided just go ahead and just sell them as is, because
Mhm.
they are so expensive to make, first off. But if we could find a cheaper way to produce them and make them a little smaller than what we had before, we would definitely do the blind bag, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, I know that's the craze right now that's going on
Oh
at the
yeah,
shop. So it's
oh yeah,
kind of curious to see how that would translate on Kickstarter.
yep,
it is an interesting one to go on a Kickstarter, quite honestly. But it is a great craze.
Yeah.
yeah.
I do dig it when done well. I mean, as long as nobody's putting the 8 cover in the blind
Yeah.
bag. That is my one only takeaway. We're
Yeah.
looking at you, Marvel.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to what's going on in the world of Comic Soup. You kind of touched on and alluded that you're always a busy man. So what other projects are you allowed to share with us that you may or may not be working on that you haven't kind of already alluded to?
Yeah, so we got Poca 7, Horus 4. We're working on Final Girl issue 4. Yes. We're working on Kit's already working on Cockhead 2. The script for Mostly Dead 2 is already done. Beneath the Lighthouse is almost finished. That's the one-shot horror that Brian Belando and I are doing. And I think that's it. I think.
Are you going back to Misfortune?
Oh yeah, hey, Misfortune. Okay, so we're actually gonna be launching that on Kickstarter.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
yeah, yeah,
go.
yeah. We're launching Misfortune on Kickstarter. It's the first issue that we did a year or two ago.
Yep.
So we decided that it would go ahead and be. I was talking about it with David DeBell, the guy that runs Eerie Saga. I just kind of told him, like, it'd be the better thing to do to go ahead and just release it that way, so that way he could have fun with it, um and really kind of show, like, hey, this is what we're trying to do, because he just released it as a exclusive on
Global.
Global Comics, and we had really good reception for it, which was awesome. So I told him, let's go and just release it here, and then just see what happens. I mean, it's already done. He's just setting on money. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. And especially too, that was your first endeavor into the superhero
It
genre.
is. It is. Yeah, and I had a lot of fun with it too. I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely comes off that way, especially knowing you, and then that's the first time, going in that avenue, and
Mhm.
especially from, where the more humorous side of things are that we alluded to with Pocus, to being a more serious tone with that one. I mean, not as like I say, it's you can't really compare both universes, obviously, but
Right,
knowing
right.
like this direction, that I think is going to be something that fans have not checked out on Global Comics. You definitely want to check that out when it drops on Kickstarter.
Yeah, dude, because, like, we're gonna have a new cover for it and stuff, and then that way we can kind of help support, because again, comics are are not cheap. This isn't, even when it comes to David DeBell, this isn't our full-time job, which sucks. I really want it to be. But yeah, we're just really trying hard to just make it ours, and then maybe one day this is something we can do full time.
It's always the dream, but when you put the hustle in and you put in the work, you're one step closer than anybody that goes, I would, I coulda, shoulda, I was gonna. So that's the way I always look at life, was with especially projects like this. And obviously you kind of touched upon when we're going to see the Bad Mother Clucker come back.
Yes, yeah. So he's going to be launching soon. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to launch Cockhead to around the same time as Horus 4, because Kit's already done a cross promotion print for Cockhead and Horus together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that way if you back both, then you get a lot of fun stuff.
There goes my wallet, but it's well worth it. It's well worth it. It's well worth it, though. I mean, I was going to buy them anyway. So, like I say, I have the, fortunately, I have the means to, and I will obviously know it's coming. I would be able to save up. So,
yeah.
Look at you, like saving your pennies, rubbing them together.
Yep, like
you're making it sound like the ultimate sacrifice right now.
Yes. Well, but like you alluded to, comics are not cheap.
Oh,
so
no,
it's like, you gotta be, very, very savvy with your wallets these days, and make sure you get your money's worth.
As much as I'm making the joke, I'm going to slowly go broke, or as I always like to say, get divorced, because of how many of my friends make cool stuff, and then I get to turn around and be like, oh, I got to buy said cool stuff. Not out of duty, out of legit that I really want it. And, thankfully, my wife is supportive, but I love you, and hopefully you stay supportive of that, because she's like, where are all these books coming from? And I'm like, well, Kickstarter.
Yeah, don't you worry.
I thought you were going to say me. I'm like, no.
I know. I don't blame it on you. She knows, because she sees the bill when it comes out.
Yeah.
Although it is kind of funny because she forgets about it, because there's that gap between paying and then the Kickstarter gets to you. So like all of a sudden it comes in the mail, like, I thought you bought that, but like, yeah, but it doesn't come out when you buy it. Like I'd explain Kickstarter to her once, but it is what it is.
You do what with our money?
You do what? You're doing what? And it's like, she's like, are you promising on futures? Like, no, I don't make it. It's funny because she gets the nice part about it. She gets it because I'm a collector at heart, and I collect a lot of things, and I'm like, not to sell them or value. And it's like, so it's like, oh, this thing could be worth X amount of dollars, and I'm just like, well, it doesn't matter because I'm not selling it anyways. And like she gets that and she understands that, which is really cool. Because some people will be like, you have what in your possession and you don't want to do what with it? And you're like, it is what it is. But let's have some fun side questions. Let's go on some side quests. Like we alluded to before, you'd like to do the magic, you like to do the supernatural. What is your, and mind you can pick any kind of media or any kind of format. It could be movies, TV, books. But what is your favorite supernatural story of all time?
Oh God. Like we're talking like horror story.
It doesn't necessarily
have to necessarily be, but
because I know we had this conversation with the guests, which you will all hear if it isn't out already, where they pick Ghost, the movie Ghost,
like,
which is not technically horror.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, it does have that badass scene where the guy gets dragged to hell, but it is not technically a horror movie.
It is not. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to say a bunch of ones that I really like, and then we'll go from there. Right. Okay, because these questions are so hard because I'm so indecisive. I really like Get Out story.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I like The Evil Dead. That's always so much fun.
Absolutely.
I actually really like the first Insidious movie. The more I think about it.
Yeah, that one was really good.
And I'm tired of pretending like I don't like it. So
actually, believe it or not, that one was really good. I mean, they do go in some weird ways after that one, but like.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just like the Conjuring stuff, right?
Yeah,
like, there's definitely they should have known when to hold them, when to fold them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna settle for those for right now, and then we'll come back to it later.
Oh yeah, those were all great.
Yeah.
I mean, my cop out answer is The Exorcist.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because I love The Exorcist, and I'm also gonna give the other part of it. Like, I'm not like, as much as it's weird, because I do enjoy like the supernatural stuff in comics. Like, I am not like supernatural movies. Ken knows I'm not a huge fan of. And the reason why is because
Oh,
I always
really?
feel like, well, the thing is, I mean, I shouldn't say a huge fan of them in general because it depends on the movie. Because I'm not a big fan of like the haunted house trope of
Right,
like
right.
you just have like random things happening and ooh jump scare. I'm not like I like some meat and potatoes on there. So I mean that's why like things like The Exorcist jump out, like the Conjuring. Like for a haunted house movie, they did a good job of with most of them. I'll say not
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
Like but like stuff like that catches my kind of like periphery. But like if I did like to enjoy the first Paranormal Activity movie. Like
Yeah,
after that kind of went downhill, but
it's funny because like with the first Paranormal Activity movie, like it I went back and rewatched it and it lost some of the luster for me, right? But it was such a fun theater experience that I'll never be able to get back.
I
It's one
I,
it's
I
one of
agree.
those things.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Especially when you didn't know what was coming.
Mhm.
And
Right.
because that was such an indie movie and it was such a, low budget,
Oh
it
yeah, dude.
like a lot of that stuff was really cool. I think that's why I think I didn't like a lot of the stuff that came out after because it just kind of got washed out. It kind of was
Yeah,
like,
I
okay, here's this
agree
really cool
100%.
idea. And then we kind of just stepped on it.
Yeah.
So like yeah, like so that's why it's kind of weird because I do love a good but I feel like in comics there's ways to make supernatural stuff not just your basic trope, like because when we think of supernatural we always think of like haunted houses, ghosts,
Right,
etc.
right, right.
And like in comics you can actually play with that a little bit because we have like supernatural comedies, as you do, you have supernatural action stuff, you have things that
Oh, I got another
make
one. I just thought of it. I haven't
go
watched this
ahead.
movie in forever. It's a Spanish horror thriller drama called The Orphanage.
Okay.
Okay.
Love that movie. All right.
Ah.
Anyway, okay, that's it. Done.
Yeah, no, but no, I think that that's the melding things in comics because like I've been to like I obviously I'm a big champion of indie comic books, and with the indie comic books you always end up like with every genre known, and like that's why it's like somebody's like, well, this fell off, and it's like not if you read indie comics, it didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like right now we have like a resurgence, and we talked about this the other day of crime
Yeah.
comics. So you got a lot of like either whether it's noir or horror or suspense or whatever, but there's a crime element to it. Like horror has been like as a horror fan, like there's some great horror movies that come out. Don't
Oh,
get me
dude,
wrong.
there's been a resurgence in horror. Like
Yeah, across the
it's been
board.
awesome, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, but in comics in particular, it's like really like in the forefront, and it's pretty amazing to see some of the work that's being done in the indies with that. Like there's
Mm.
tremendous things, and even like not even just like known properties, which there's that, but like you have stories that are just coming out. Like I always shout it out, like if you're looking for a good horror book, Devil on My Shoulder, like by Kyle Starks, is a tremendous book, and we've done so many other ones. You have like it's just the realm that we're in, so it's always nice to kind of like see the mixture of stuff because then somebody is going to be like ultimately like Rich, you said you didn't like supernatural stuff, but you read all these supernatural comic books.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but they're different and they're fun, and it's not just jump scare on page 3. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Like and I think that's what drives me away from the movies a lot of times. That's why I said the ones that I like are all like thoughtful, like Exorcist.
No, I get that. Yeah.
So we got one more question for you, sir.
Go
This
for it.
has been the year of the crossovers, you would say. Like we have Superman, Spider-Man teaming up. If you could take one character, or better yet, one character from Mostly Dead and cross it over with any genre, who and why?
Dude, I would. So one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm sure that this spawned from it. The movie Paranorman, the claymation movie.
Okay.
I would love to take Nate to meet Norman. Yep.
And you can't dispute that Nate and the rest of the cast of Mostly Dead are going to be win over fans when the Kickstarter campaign is in full swing, and you don't want to miss what's going on, because if Alan's name is on a book, you just go get it. Like,
Yeah, do
seriously.
that. I like
Yeah,
that.
I mean-
I like that idea.
I mean, we'll just say the whole spiel. No, I'll give it the real one here,
Yeah.
because when you get it, you get somebody that's a fan and thinks about the fan from the perspective, but always delivers something great, whether it's horror, whether it's humor, and blends it together that it doesn't take away from the other themes that he's compiling on to make something special here. Every project that he's done since day one that I've had the pleasure of picking up and seeing, there's been growth and there's been so much value in it for me as a fan that I say it's a great investment to do what to get behind what he's doing, whether it's with the Pocus Hocus team or in this new venture of Comic Soup, because it's a solid investment and it's thinking of you, the fan, first. And Mostly Dead is going to be a book that you don't want to miss when it comes out. Alan, thank you as always for the time, my friend. You know you're welcome to come on FLZ anytime that you got a new project on. Can't wait to talk to you again.
Yeah, I can't wait to come back. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. On behalf of Rich and myself, thank you again for watching another edition of Fanlight Zone Presents. We'll see you next time.